Well, hello everyone. Welcome again to another creator session. This time we have Liam and Vukašin from Orville Studios, who are going to be talking a bit about actions and stuff. Little resource pack in the marketplace you might have heard of. Orville Studios is a fantastic part of the Minecraft marketplace. I remember when I saw Angry Birds, which is kind of a Minecraft implementation of Angry Birds, and I thought to myself, this was before scripting was even in the product. I thought, oh my goodness, how in the world did they do Angry Birds on top of Minecraft? Minecraft has a lot of awesome platform capabilities, but a physics engine is not one of them. But you really nailed the concept of Angry Birds inside of Minecraft. So incredible. They also worked on some of the recent 15-year anniversary content. And also, and they're going to be talking about a bit today about actions and stuff. So with that, Liam and Vukašin, why don't you take it away and also all about some of the thoughts in building it.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
That was quite the intro. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So I think we'll just start with some introductions. So I'm Liam. I'm the project manager and the audio director at Orville Studios. So I get to oversee all of the awesome stuff that we make as a team. I also get to make a lot of weird and silly sounds for the Minecraft space. So I actually got into the Minecraft space when it came out on the Xbox 12 years ago, I think now, maybe a bit longer. So I really loved all of that creative mode in Minecraft, how you can create your own worlds as much as you want. I got into the marketplace that was 6 years ago now, at the start of Orville. And it's just basically taking that same creative mode, create all your own worlds and taking it to a whole other level. And yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Hello. My name is Vukašin. People call me Vuk for short. I'm a lead texture artist at Orville. I kind of oversee all the textures and I work on 3D models, key art, and a bunch of kind of art-related things. So for whatever I'm needed, I'm kind of always there. I joined Orville at around 4 years ago, somewhere not quite at the start, but at very early stages. And my Minecraft journey to the marketplace started kind of spontaneously in a way, because I've been working on pixel art, illustrations, and as a pixel artist in general. And I just one day got found out and hired, and that's how I started. I've always been a player, Minecraft player for a while, and kind of just getting to work on Minecraft wasn't what I expected at first, but it's very much so grown on me. And ever since I started, I've kind of had a lot of fun with it, and I enjoy working with Minecraft space now quite a lot. That's kind of pretty much it about me.
Yeah, and as Mike said, we are here today to primarily talk about actions and stuff, but we're going to do a little brief overview of the studio as well. I mean, Mike's already done such a great job on that introduction, so that'll probably be quite speedy. Then, we'll talk a bit about actions and stuff, and then just a few key points that we think really helped us to make that as successful as it is in animating for gameplay and creating something that's familiar but fresh. So we can just start a little bit about the studio. So we are now in our sixth year. It's been an incredible, wonderful ride. Getting to work with amazing people like Vukašin and the rest of the team here at Orville has been absolutely incredible. So we started by making some of our own content. If any of you have ever played Steampunk Inventors or Tiki Island way back in the day. And then, shortly after that, we started working on summer celebrations, the theme park. And then we got to work on in the IP program, working on things like Angry Birds, The Incredibles, Nerf World, and then also the 15-year anniversary recently, which was a huge project for us. And then with the add-on space becoming a thing, absolutely exploding into that, creating things that aren't just a single exclusive experience the way that we've tailored it to do, but seeing players taking what we've created and then doing whatever the hell they want with it has been really inspirational. And recently, we released actions and stuff. So, Book, do you want to tell everyone what actions and stuff is?
Yeah, of course. So basically, for any of you who might have not heard yet, Action Stuff is a very comprehensive resource pack for Minecraft. It includes everything from animations, textures, custom sounds, new models. It's a complete overhaul of kind of Minecraft visuals in a sense. The way we made it, like the style of it is very playful, very kind of animated and bouncy. It's like a lot more colorful, and it still kind of tries to keep the vanilla aesthetic in a way. We're very conscious when we are creating stuff to keep the player expectations of Minecraft still kind of the same. We don't stray too much away from that sort of vanilla style. Just because we know that a lot of players are very familiar with it, a lot of players love it, and we just try to put our own kind of flair on it and improve it in a way we think is people are gonna love and enjoy playing with it, especially.
Yeah, and that's really the main goal of Actions and Stuff. It's, overhaul the visual style of Minecraft without losing what makes it so special.
Yeah, exactly.
And then also just absolutely pushing the limits of what a resource pack can actually do and be, and what we can get away with publishing on the marketplace as well.
Yeah, and we're kind of looking at way to kind of keep it fresh and keep it very modern, and always update it as the new updates come out, and just add our own kind of fun touches to it as well, to just really bring up the more fun aspects of Minecraft. And we have a lot of fun when we make it, so we kind of try to make that show through it as well.
Yeah. So
we can.
We can move to the next slide.
Yeah, we can go into some examples.
Yeah, so you can kind of split Actions and Stuff into two parts: Actions and Stuff. So the first part of that is the Actions, which is all of the animations that have been added into the pack, and this is really the core of Actions and Stuff. It's kind of what it's all about. So I just wanted to highlight something that we really kept in mind while designing these animations, which is thinking about the gameplay. And there's a few different ways that you can look at gameplay and think about that. So really the first thing is just thinking about enhancing the gameplay. So you want to make players feel the action through the animation. You don't want the animation to feel incredibly sluggish. You don't want it to slow players down or make it feel like they're waiting for animations to complete. That can just really slow down gameplay rather than enhancing it. So one of the things that we really put into all of our animations is we don't just have one single animation for each action. So I've got a few examples here. We've got a crouch animation, we've got shears and flint and steel. We want to give the player a new and, bouncier and more exciting animation. The problem with that is that you add extra lag into the system because that animation is longer than the vanilla ones. Vanilla actions are instantaneous. So if you want to do a repeat action, you'll then have to wait for that long animation to finish before you can then do the action again. So the way that we solved for this was to have not just one animation, but two different animations. So you have one for the first use of the animation, which is a much more exaggerated, kind of slower animation. And then for repeat animations, we have a much quicker, snappier animation. So this way you get kind of the best of both worlds. You get a really nice, smooth animation the first time you press the button. You can see that on the crouch animation. Reina, our avatar, takes two really nice little steps back while crouching. It's very, very cute. But then for repeat animations, she just bobs up and down. So that kind of preserves that input sensitivity that you need for smooth gameplay. Another thing that we really learned to pay attention to really from Actions and Stuff, because our experience came from more world building, like with Incredibles and Nerf and Angry Birds, we were in complete control over that player experience. We knew exactly what they were going to do, when they were going to do it, and where they were going to do it. The big difference for us with Actions and Stuff is, as it's a texture pack, it's applied onto anyone's worlds. So you go from one exact experience that everyone is sharing to thousands and thousands and thousands of different experiences, all using the same resources. So what we got was a lot of community feedback coming back, not just on animations, but also on our textures and things, where they were not complaining, but giving us feedback saying like, hey, this really cool thing that I liked about Minecraft and I do all of the time, I can't do with actions and stuff because the animations are stopping me or the textures have diverted too far from vanilla Minecraft. So an example of that again is that crouch animation. So if anyone has played Minecraft, particularly on a server experience, players communicate all the time using that crouch button. Spam crouch means follow me. Spam crouch means I'm over here. Spam crouch means anything and everything. So with our original release of actions and stuff, with that slower crouch before we added the speedy crouch feature, you couldn't do spam crouching. So it's just a complete oversight of us not really thinking and knowing how the player is going to use that crouch animation outside of its intended use and only really animating for the intended use, and then listening to that feedback and going, people need to spam crouch. We also want beautiful animations and they want beautiful animations. So we found a compromise between the two where you can have, the best of both worlds. Vuk, can you talk a little bit about some of the texture changes that you did?
Yeah, I just want to mention that as well, like this kind of feedback and the animation for the crouching goes beyond just crouch. We apply that same logic to other parts of the animation. Like a few examples we'll put here is that it's same logic is applied to shears and flint and steel as well. So we want those actions to be like very responsive and feel quick as the player kind of goes through and repeats it a lot. And yeah, for us it's like very important community feedback that we receive, and we do have a Discord channel and where we listen to a lot of suggestions people post, and we often take a look at those and just kind of look at how people play the game, because we as players play a game a certain way, and since Minecraft is so big and so diverse, there are like so many play styles from like building, PvP and everything. We really kind of have to encompass all of that into like a single pack that essentially changes how those things look and feel. And like some of the things that have come up when like doing textures for this is that like initially when we first released, some of the wood palettes on the wood textures were slightly differently colored than vanilla, because we tend to aim for a very like saturated, very bright and colorful look. So one of the key ones was the spruce wood happened to be slightly more red than vanilla initially. So we've had feedback come in where people like houses didn't look the way they expected them to look now, and like they were pretty sad about it, that the worlds and the builds they were using just ended up looking different and not what they expected, like, or you got used to seeing them. So like we've updated all that to kind of keep it more in line with vanilla and just kind of like think of really the ways people use it. We've had same with coral blocks, where people use coral blocks to make stone palettes. And one of the other things that happened is that as I was doing like the biome colors and recoloring stuff, like grass and foliage, I thought it would be a nice idea to get the like mushroom island looking like very dried out, very kind of yellowish and orange and more brown in tone, because that kind of fits the overall vibe of the Mushroom Island biome. However, it turns out that for the Mushroom Island, people tend to find that biome and use it specifically for the very vibrant green color of the foliage that it has in vanilla. So that was kind of unexpected, because whenever I played Minecraft, I never really kind of kept that in mind or never really used it in that way. So that's something like people have again like brought up, or like, oh, we use it in this way and it kind of sucks now that it's not as we wanted to. We went there specifically to have like very bright, lush and vibrant like foliage, and now it's all like very yellow and dried out. So that's like something.
The screenshots that we got coming into the community Discord were incredibly sad. You just have people being like, "Look at my beautiful, vibrant mushroom biome, and now look at it now."
Yeah, it's all like gray and like withered.
So we're so sorry. We'll fix that as soon as we can.
Yeah, a lot of those things, because it's very hard to predict and expect kind of people play the game, because it's there's so many different ways, and that's why like community feedback and all the suggestions are very important to us to hear how people play and how people interact with like our content and how they interact in their own worlds as well. So we always keep an eye out on like any suggestions that are posted.
And we've seen that positive response to that attitude of addressing community feedback. A lot of our we release update videos for every major update that we do to actions and stuff, and I think a good few of those actually have higher view counts than the main trailer for actions and stuff. I think that's the case for at least two of them. So people really, really respond well when you support the content that you've put out and you listen to what they want from your content.
Yeah, exactly. I think we can move on to the next slide now. Yeah, so some of the things when like the creator mindset we kind of get into when we make a content for action and stuff is that we try to, as I mentioned before, really kind of take a look at how people play the game and enhance that feeling in every way we can. So it's not just a texture pack or animation pack. It's a much more like a comprehensive and very cohesive research pack in general. We include a lot of custom models, custom animations, custom sounds, and a lot of custom VFX that bring that kind of feeling of interacting with the world much more like fresh and new, because when someone who plays the game applies the action stuff for the first time, we really want them to be wowed by like kind of all the new features there and all the new things that they don't usually see in vanilla Minecraft, and we want them to kind of experience the game like in a completely new way as a whole. And I think putting a lot of thought into those details matter. One of the examples that we've done this for is, as you can see on the side, is the charge creeper. This mob is very rare in the game, and it's not often you kind of naturally see it occur. So we've put on a lot of extra effort to make like all the new models, the new VFX and the animation, and like the texture as well for it to kind of once it does happen, like naturally in the world, it's a very special moment for the players, I think, especially the ones who might be playing the game for the first time, because it's like very unexpected. And we wanted to kind of make that moment in the game feel even more special, and just kind of get that wow factor out of the people, where they really get surprised when the lightning strikes on the creeper. And that same kind of thinking we've applied to other areas as well, which is we recently pushed out an update which includes like 3D items for all the items in the game. So they show up as a 3D objects in your hand. And we've had a lot of fun of creating those, because there's a lot of interesting things we can do now that like all the objects are visible and the player is actually holding them. Some of the examples are like the lightning rod, where you like when you swap it in your hand, it gets struck by lightning. And there's a bunch of like small interactions like that, where we have the lanterns like swinging as the player moves around, or even the torches get like extinguished underwater and are lit up when you get out of the water. So a lot of very small touches like that, I think, really enhance the experience as the player kind of plays through the game. They can really get surprised as to like, oh, I haven't seen this before. Like, oh, it's kind of interesting, and it's like we want someone who plays with action stuff to like always have something new to see and always like find new things as they're really playing the game, as they normally would. And we've also recently, there was the game drop with the new cow variants, and we've thought of like giving the cows a little bit more extra personality, especially the cold cow. Whenever making it, we thought it looked very like kind of, I guess, emo in a way you could say. It kind of had that very interesting hairdo, and we wanted to kind of make that like even more pronounced in a way. We wanted to add some more movement to it and extra animation. And if you look at it in game, like sometimes the cow will like flip its hair upwards and just kind of try to get it away from its eyes, where it's like covering them. And there's a bunch of like small interactions like that that we really try to put into the game. These are just like some of the examples at the top of my head, but as you play, you'll like really discover a lot more. Even as well with the new custom egg textures that released in the new game drop. We have redone all the models for those. It was like a very huge task because before that, eggs usually just had a colored variant, and it was just like different palettes on the same texture. But now that they all had a unique icon texture, we've been able to make 3D handheld models for all of those as well. And we've had like some extra fun with like making those and animating them as well. It's been like really nice. And some of the like feedback we've received from the community was very positive on that as well. And we always kind of love to see how the community engages with our content. I think that's one of the most rewarding things when it comes to like creating anything and creating such a piece of content like this. We would sometimes see people post on like Instagram or TikTok or anywhere like on social media. There would be a bunch of like videos and posts of like people. Sometimes it's just like their Minecraft experiences, but like with action stuff applied on top of it. Or sometimes it'll be like very specific to the new features we've made. I've seen personally some videos with the like new cow and the cow animations, and people just kind of making memes and fun of it, or like essentially like making their reactions. And I think it's like very, very fun to see like people engaging in that way. And yeah, I personally love seeing that.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things about actions and stuff, or at least working on actions and stuff, is when Minecraft puts out a new update for the base game, because we all get very excited because we'll see, oh, we have new snow cows. What's something interesting and fun that we can do with that? And someone would be like, don't you think the hair looks a little like a young teenager who's a little angry at their parents? And we'd be like, it does. We 100% should give it a little like hair flip to it. The eggs were the biggest shock to us when that came out. At first, we were a little bit like, oh no, we have to remake all of the eggs. And then as soon as we got into actually making them and our artists started submitting designs for them, we were just having an absolute blast coming up with all of the fun, wacky ways that we can portray all of the mobs. I'm sure it was similar on the Minecraft team as well, creating the vanilla hotbar textures for all of those eggs, coming up with all of those ideas. The other thing that I think is really, really fun and really interesting that makes actions and stuff what it is this kind of collaboration between the different creative fields at the studio. So when we add a new feature to actions and stuff, we don't just think, oh, let's add a new animation, or let's add a new VFX, or let's add a new sound. We kind of add it in as a whole package. So as Vuk mentioned, we added 3D items to all of the items in the game, which was a huge overhaul. But we could have just, done that as a simple model and kept the vanilla animations, but we didn't. We were like, okay, we're adding a new item entire thing to the game. Let's also add new animations for it. And then we go, well, we've added new animations now, we may as well add sounds. So actions and stuff has swap item sounds for every single item as well, that we added, which was a huge amount of fun to work on. And then, well, while we're doing that, why don't we also add VFX? So you can see with the lightning rod, it's also got lightning VFX to it. And typically we'd also add gameplay interactions and things as well. But since action stuff is a resource pack, we can't really do that here. But yeah, just thinking about the whole experience, and the sum is greater than the parts is, I think, the philosophy.
Yeah, we want the players to have fun, playing with action stuff, because when we create something, it's like, in general, it's very important to have fun when you make something. And we do like have a lot of fun, like coming up with these ideas. And I think it really kind of pulls through when, people experience them, and we really want to kind of keep that like exciting feeling throughout like the entire process of creating up to like the players playing with the action stuff. So yeah, I think that's like, and having like really great people to work on it with, as well as play the game with. Yeah, I think that's kind of pretty much sums it up nicely.
I love that.
Yeah,
golem egg. So good.
Yeah, that was one of the like ideas that came up like kind of spontaneously as we were experimenting with it, and we were just like, can we can we implement it into the game? And everyone was like, yes, we can. And so it just came to be.
Well, thanks so much, Liam and Vukašin. That was amazing. I know there's so many fans of actions and stuff and the things that you've been trying to build. We'll take one question and then we'll save the other questions for the roundtable that's coming later in the day. So if you're on the chat, please keep the questions coming. We are saving them for the upcoming roundtable. But Galder Villanueva asks, how did you create those outlines in the 3D models, like including the charged creeper, but also the glowberries and the eye of Ender and those kinds of things?
Yeah, right. Essentially, the way we create outlines, there is a plugin on Blockbench. We primarily use Blockbench to create any models and textures. That plugin can create outlines, and I think the way it works, I'm not sure too much technical, but I think the way it works is that it essentially flips the face normals, so the kind of additional geometry that's being added on top gets inverted, and then you only see the kind of back face of it. So like the front face is not showing since it's like inside out, if it makes sense. And then you can only see the back face. So we just kind of map a single pixel of texture to it, and that's kind of like, it's pretty simple in a way.
We turn the mob inside out and then layer it over the top of itself.
Yeah, essentially.
All right, well, that wraps it up. Amazing content, amazing to see how it was built and behind the scenes and all the artistic details. I know that that's, as you said, it's half the fun of, or a lot of the fun of actions and stuff is that there's always something new. So it's always fun to kind of do just an actions and stuff flavored playthrough of Minecraft. And I look forward to playing it later today. But yeah, thanks Liam and Vukašin for joining in, and we'll be seeing you later in the roundtable. And with that, thanks for dropping in, everybody.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Bye-bye.
Bye.